Hello, friends of any age. Today we're going to talk about counting collections of stuff. I'm going to give you a couple of examples on how you can count the stuff and then show you how the Seesaw slides work. So all you need to do is find something to count. It can be Cheerios, it can be Legos, it can be a handful of dog food, it can be a handful of coins, it can be a handful of screws. Always make sure when you're grabbing stuff though to check with the grown-ups in your household to make sure it's okay that you have that stuff to count. I have counted some dimes today. I have a fun bottle that my sister gave me that has an opening that's just the right size for dimes, so I have decided to dump out a few of the dimes and count them to see how many they are and use that as the example for you today. So here is my pile of dimes that I have dumped out onto a piece of black paper. Now you are going to have to decide how are you going to count these things. It's kind of hard to just count them the way they are. Some kids can just estimate and count a group here, or count a group here, or count a group here, and that's great. But some kids will need to lay their things out or draw them in a different way. So here are a few examples. You might lay them out in stacks of 10 and count 10, 20, 30, 40, and then a few more. Some kids might like to do something like count by twos or count by threes. You can count by any number that is good for you. Some kids might want to set up an array and use multiplication to help them count. Let's go to the Seesaw slide so I can show you what that looks like. Okay, so when you open up the Seesaw slide, this is what you're going to see. There are 3 pages here in case you want to count more than one collection. To begin, grab a handful of something, coins or Legos for example. It can be anything. In the purple box, what are you counting? Click to type your answer. In the blue box, predict how many there will be. Click to type your answer. And in this big space here, use this space to show how you arranged and counted. So on this slide, I'm going to count dimes. And I estimate that there will be 50. Remember, an estimate is just an educated guess. If you're wrong, that's okay. That just means the next time you make an estimate, you can think back to the last time if you were close or far away and why that happened. I am going to put my dimes in here as an array. And I'm just going to use the highlighter tool to make dots. You can choose different sizes. I'm going to just choose the big ones. So I decided to put mine in groups of 10. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then I'm going to use a smaller one, 51, 52, 53, 54 is how many dimes I had in my collection. And just in case I want to label, you can use the pencil tool to label, which is kind of hard if you have to write with a mouse or a trackpad. Or I can come over here and I can click the text box and write 10 for label. Now I'm a person who likes to copy paste, so I will duplicate this one and I will move it to each of the big dimes. And then down here, I'll duplicate again, but I'm going to change this to 4. So now I can count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 4. Add a text box, swing it down here, give it a click, and type in the number of things. These slides are for you to use. They are not labeled. Okay, give it a try. Make sure when you complete the assignment that you turn it in, and then make sure on Google Classroom that it is also turned in. Send me an email if you've got any questions. See you again.